Hello and welcome to a new video. It's finally here, at long last. The prologue to Scorn, not the full game, but we're getting close. We're getting ever closer, and as promised in their Kickstarter page, backers of the game will get access to the prologue a month early, and surprise, surprise, I have access to the prologue because I backed the game. I think some YouTubers might have just been given the prologue for free. Had to quickly check that the microphone was plugged in, and yeah, here we see a Scorn person with a bunch of the parasite tendrils and meat stuff all over him. You can see he has a wrist key, so he has been around this neck of the woods before. Now, I've played through the prologue already, so I have a general idea of what I'm supposed to do. You can see I have the save slot here. But I'm gonna choose the second save slot, and we're gonna begin. Now, the opening to the game is actually pretty mysterious, all things considered. We zoom in on his face and he wakes up, and then you'll see what happens next. You can see he actually has teeth, or some semblance of a jaw. So we get his point of view in a meat pillar room. He's unable to move quite as well as he wants to. Then it switches over to this surface. We've seen this in some of the gameplay trailers, the 2017 one. Then another meat pillar room. Now these meat pillars are like just everywhere, and seems to switch between these two views. Well, now I'm stuck here, asshole. You happy? So yeah, for whatever reason, he's able to, like, move from one body to another, and it's just those two from what I see here. Initially, I thought there were more in my first playthrough, but now looking at it again, there's just two. But why, and how? Oh, now he's able to stand. Couldn't have done that like 15 seconds ago, my dude. Unable to use this door, but since we're in the light, here's our body. He has a fat fucking bulge on his crotch. Fun fact, his feet proportionally to his head is actually larger than that of a normal human being. Scorn guy has really big feet. I don't know why that's a detail that developers insisted on having, but it is. The game definitely started very different than I anticipated how it would start. I thought it would start out with him waking up and pulling that umbilical cord out of his lungs that we saw in like the Doug Bradley trailer. Very interesting machine. At least there's some semblance of cable control here. We've seen so many instances where they're just leaving cords all around, regardless of who might trip over them. Like here, this is a safety hazard right here. One thing I don't like is that, like, you can't look down at your character while he's moving. When he stops, you can, but as soon as you start to move, the camera moves up and you're unable to move it back down. Just a little bit annoying, because I like to see my guy running. Can't move through that. You can see it has a little control panel. We know we need that kind of meat key. And here's a pre-alpha room. Still cool seeing it the second time. All the way back from 2014, which means that, like, when they started developing the game, they started at the very beginning. It's this underground area, too. Oh, I never noticed this little crevice. Doesn't really do much for me, but I notice it now. So, wall there. Can kind of move the camera around during these little in-game cutscenes. Just to barely slide through. The bulge in your crotch prevent you, bro. There's something there. Oh, it's one of the carts. So, we've seen this room before. We know exactly what's gonna happen. An entire civilization designed exclusively by assholes. Like, we figured out how to make keys and passwords and locks and stuff that don't require this kind of embedded wrist key, but I guess Scorn people just missed the memo. Interesting thing about this door, it's a bit of a time trial. You have to get out here real quick and run on over. And it won't close on you, though. It's unable to kill your character. So, yep, here we are. The bridge area doesn't have that point that we saw in the pre-alpha trailer. It used to have like a little spike going down. And your character is not athletic. He is not able to get over here. It has to be like a ramp in order for you to move around. I'm gonna briefly show off here. You can actually kind of see him. They even gave him a head model. It's not a particularly good view by any means. He's very far away from the camera. Hold on a second, I want to try that again, just real quick. Even though it's a second playthrough and I have a general idea of what I'm doing, I still want to know. Alright, so it's to his left. Doesn't seem to be any cameras anywhere, though. No means of actually seeing how he's viewing that. Little cart there, but we'll have to handle that later. There's a machine execution, and let me tell you right now, it's definitely an execution device. No real good way to see what's down there. But what we want to do is go over to this elevator here. Just gonna take a little tour around the area first. Can see a mold person in there. Someone on Twitter actually did predict that these pods here, the ones over there, held mold people. A guy called Manuel. So, good job, dude. Very keen observation. I completely missed that. Not able to go through there. And the fact that there are these, like, locks here kind of makes me think we'll eventually come back here. You can see just what a state of disarray everything is in. These grids left here. Oh, and over here, you can't pass through. Although you get a little preview of what's on the other side, which we'll get to. Believe me, we will. I mean, what was this tube even attached to before it, like, broke off and fell down limp on that? And we're back around again. Now, want to use this machine first. I have a little bit of a confession to make. First time I played through this puzzle, I was completely filtered. Like, took me damn near 45 minutes, and I'm glad to say I'm not the only one. I've seen Super Horror Bros playthrough of the prologue, and he said it took him like 20 minutes. Here's a cart machine. This is not the part that filtered me. Let me just make that very clear now. That piss easy part wasn't the one that made my life difficult. Because you can see it's a little bit of a fake out. It does give you an idea of what you're supposed to do, though. You need to put the lit up one in that area up there. I find it kind of interesting, actually, that this one is just completely gone. From a gameplay perspective, yeah, you don't want people fiddling around with this. You want people working with this. But like in universe, that means that there were two claws there that put mold people in those carts. One after the other, and there were probably like two Scorn people here who were messing around with this stuff. So I'm gonna see if I can do a little bit better with this puzzle, and if not, then I'll just cut the footage until later. It's all about moving these pieces on the left to the right. Now, what I want to do is get this double piece down to this area here. So we're gonna move you guys over here. Move you down here. Move you back over here. Almost got, just gotta rearrange these guys here. So you are permanently just out of the way. I move you over here. Move you down here. Move you over here. And there we go. Oh wait, one more. One more straggler, but you're not gonna be a problem, are you? No, you're not, because you're gonna be over there. One more thing to take care of. Just need to move you here. You down there. You up here. And the coast is clear. This puzzle definitely was pretty difficult for me. First time I played it, and even today it had to do a lot of finagling here in order to get it to work. I'd imagine it probably filtered a lot of players. I hope I'm not just the one bad gamer in all the universe. But anyways, you grab this, and it's revealed that it is Mold Man. There he is in the flesh. The man, the myth, the legend himself. The fan favorite. Good old Mold Man. He's gonna be taken down. Now, something I didn't quite check when I first played was the first mold person who was unfortunate enough to be grabbed and then dropped by that machine. Although, I guess if he died, then that's probably the luckiest event in his short life, you know? I'll imagine a lot in this universe, a lot in this world here is worth living for. So I'm gonna see. There he is. Hi, Mold Man. How's it going, pal? It's like pulsating flesh down there. Can't quite find the other mold person that was dropped. I don't think it's this. Yeah, the other mold pod just straight up fucking disappeared. Gotta pick up our bro. And just set him down into the cart. There we go. There you go, Moldy. Get a good look at our friend here. Yeah, he's probably not seen better days, but you know, he's alive. Isn't that all that matters? He has a rather gnarly gash in his head. Just straight out of the mold. He already has a huge scar. Which I guess is the least of his worries now, isn't it? Amusingly, like the feet and legs, there's no segment between them, whereas in our own character, and it's kind of hard to see here, there's like a very slight there is a segment between his feet and legs. So let me get a layout of the land here. Moves over here to there, and that goes there, so we need to direct it to here, and then that goes into here, so we're going to want to redirect that. So redirect you. Redirect you. And that goes into there. There's a reason I'm doing this. When I first played through the game, I got what you can say is a bad ending, the one where Moldman dies. So I'm gonna try to get the good ending, because we all love Moldman here, right? We want him to be a happy, healthy boy. So first thing we gotta do, though, that kind of contradicts my statement there, is use this machine. Yeah. He just gives up. Poor Moldman. Don't worry, pal. We're gonna make sure that you don't get scooped. No way to push him faster, unfortunately. We had to see this poor struggling Moldman for a good minute. He moves like he's incredibly drunk. So you've probably seen, like, close to this shot in some of the trailers. There we go. Look at this guy here. He has a gash in his head, too. Wish you could crouch in the game. There's a bunch of, people. And because there's no segment between their feet and legs, that makes them mold people. Like the one anatomical, distinction between the two kinds of Scorn citizens. There we go. His feet was clipping through that machine there. Get a good view of Moldman's back. How you doing there, buddy? Yeah, there's all this crap attached to him. Probably a life support system. Like, I'm pretty sure it's not a self-sustaining thing to be stuck in that for who knows how long it's been. I mean, look at the bodies. They're green and decayed. Alright, Moldy. Well, a bit of a animation error there. You alright, dude? Come on now. There you go. It's Mold Man. Everyone's favorite mold-based character. If you say your favorite is Ethan Winters, you're a liar. It's definitely Mold Man. Yeah, it seems almost cruel to allow him to be alive. Like, this is just fucking horrible, isn't it? You can see his spine is poking out. Like, this is not something that's supposed to be alive. And the other mold people seem pretty fine anatomically. We just get the really wonky one. Is he actually gonna follow me, or does he have like a path that he goes down automatically? Come on, Mold Man. Let's go this way. Oh. Mold Man. Over here. Over here, pimp. Come on. Got a job for you. Yeah, it might have actually been less cruel to just, like, kill him. Come on, sport. Scorn guy is he just does not care. He will force this guy on his legs. This is the exact same animation that happens when Scorn guy gets it. There's a new animation with him getting his hands put in, but... Oh. Did you, like, What is this? Got some shiny stuff there. I guess that's just blood. Alright, Mold Man, come on. Come on, dude. Now, thankfully, like, the direction to move him, or, you know, lead him, need to get him over here, isn't very long, because, Mold Man is fucking slow. He has all the reason to be slow. I mean, come on. You know, when you look like that, I wouldn't expect me to be hauling ass either, but he is pretty slow. Alright, dude, come on. Over here. Old man, come on. So I guess they don't have, like, an animation, or we're able to program him actually moving to the machine. So they have him fall on the ground here, and then you have a little in-game cutscene of you, manhandling Mold Man in order to get him to do the thing you need him to do. Scorn guy just does not give a fuck. You know, this guy is in abject misery. And he will just leave him there to suffer. Like, is Mold Man even able to get his arm out? Probably not. He's probably gonna be stuck there for the rest of his short, miserable life. And you can only hope it's a short life, cause holy fuck. Well, thanks for the help, Mold Man, but, pretty sure this is where we part ways. It just would have been perfect if one of those rocks ended up falling on Mold Man here. I'm gonna go over here. I'll see you later, dude. The fact you need 2 Scorn people in order to use this is kind of interesting. One with the wrist key. Oh, see a mold man. You can see other mold people in the carts here. Again, I'm pretty sure that we got the defective variant. Now this is a shot here that was in one of the trailers, or maybe it was in one of the updates. Just this big old elevator, and you look up and see the gears moving and the area rising. We didn't have any context about that when we first saw it, but now we do. It's after we abandon our only friend in this cruel, dark, twisted world. And this is where the lore really starts. Because if you look over here at this, like, you know, something that looks like out of the Holocaust. Actually, this side is a bit better. You can see there's actually sexual dimorphism in mold people. And you can also see there's some semblance of a mouth, almost. They do have, like, an opening that's not the same as Scorn Guy's. And with how they place it, you know, modeled the bodies, like the females are always covering up their crotch. But in a few instances, you can see their crotches and notice they don't have any genitalia. Though I think that's more of a we can't get away with modeling that in our video game than an actual lore thing. I think they are supposed to have genitals. But yeah, they're all just kind of piled here after being probably dumped off from over here. Looks like it could be a conveyor belt of sorts, but here's my question. Here's that, like, huge reactor thing we saw in the 2016 trailer, and it looks like the one specifically from the concept. It's one from the pre-alpha concept art, actually, the way it's standing up like this. Look at that pipe there. What exactly is that used for? Because with holes like that, it can't transport fluids, it can't transport gases. Maybe it's supposed to suck up these dead mold people and put them into the reactor, but even then, like, because of the holes, it's not going to be able to do the suck. So what exactly is this pipe for? Oh, and here's something kind of funny. So there's like a male and female mold person, but look how they're positioned. They're fucking. It's funny because it's sex. Another thing we find that we didn't have context for previously is this. The Piston Machine. And we also see one of the meat pillar rooms. And it is just one of them, because remember, the parasite Scorn guy was crawling through one of them as well. And the devs have said there's multiple of these rooms. Releases these little drone guys. Causes this huge claw to come down and grab this and take it over to the central pillar. Now, for a while, I was wondering what these meat pillars were for. Like, what's the point? I think I have a hypothesis. First of all, let me destroy these things, because they will damage you if they hit you. One criticism I have is it's kind of difficult to tell, like, how far away you need to be before you can hit something. Like, right there, I could have sworn I'd be able to hit it, but no. Alright, that one isn't going to hurt you. That one's fine. So for a while I was wondering what these meat pillars are for. You have these little drone guys basically spraying them with mist, probably to water them or whatever. And then I realized, you know, there's no trees in Scorn. That's purely an earth organism. And so they need to get like some base resource from something else. Now if you look like over here, you can see how these tubes look to be made of the same material as these meat pillars. I think that these meat pillars are grown in these, where's a good example? Are grown in these, like, you know, circular areas here. You can see there's one there, there's one there. And then are grabbed by this machine and taken elsewhere. Then the meat is like processed into some kind of sludge that's then further processed into a usable material. Like this thing kind of looks like an oil rig. What if these meat pillars, the material that makes them, is Scorn's version of plastic? They haven't figured out how to make oil or discovered it. Or maybe they have and they're just like turning these meat pillars into petroleum as a power source. That could also be something. But even then, like, petroleum is then turned into plastic, so it's all the same. Now we could fight our way through those guys again, but I kind of want to see what happens if we just let them be, you know? I had to destroy some of them. Like, yeah, this really does look like one of those oil rigs, complete with that kind of hammer looking end. And I guess if this is all like Scorn oil, this could be just a giant generator. Although it still comes a question, why is there a bunch of dead mold people piled up? Now we use this. This one is a bit wonky. Just wait for it to highlight the object and then move it over to it. And you don't have to worry about choosing. The game will tell you which one it wants you to put the thing in. Which is, in this case, this one here. Some strange milky white substance inside, which I think we've seen also in one of the 2018 screenshots. Yeah, Yeah, it came from this with its glowing green lights. Which, well, it actually does have light effect on his body. That's nice. Scorn guy, what are you doing? Oh, he's putting his leg up there. Yeah, no good way to see his feet and legs to showcase, you know, that there is a segment. I'm not a pervert or anything. Just wanna explain the lore. And see out here, it's a field of decay. So at some point we're gonna be able to walk down this. Just inside this massive factory. And yeah, there's more of those, like, holes there, but at least there it makes sense, because this seems to be a bridge of sorts. But, like, is that connected to the reactor? Are mold people being transported across that? And if so, why? One question is, like, what exactly causes this thing to fly, you know? It's almost completely silent except for when it's moving around. And it's able to hover in the air indefinitely, leaving behind only, like, this trail of steam. So it looks like whatever you do, it's always going to be that one first, this one second, and that one third. Again, filling up these tubes with this luminescent milky white substance that in turn causes sliding doors to open for some reason. Like, congratulations, worker, you did a thing. Now you get to look at this foggy, desolate hellscape. Actually, there's some pretty big holes there. There's like very little space for someone to walk on. Does this light affect us? Yeah, it does. Alright, you can kind of see it there. Turn just a little bit. Nope. Peklar, I think I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be. See, now I want to try this more, just to see what happens. Oh, you can kind of do that thing you can do in the demo, where you get his body stuck and so you can kind of rotate like this. Come on, Scorn guy, let's see how much you can twist. Can you see your own ass? Doesn't look like it. Actually, can get outside. That's the question that we should be asking. We're kind of on the railing here. There's just... We're not on the floor, at least. There's just an invisible wall. Oh, he can kind of see his own ass. Oh, and there you can see, right there, there's a bit of a segment. Scorn is just a really goofy game. I am glad the game works on my PC though. This whole video, or the whole playthrough, was honestly kind of a stress test in order to see, like, if I'm even able to play the game. If I wasn't able to, I'd get the PC upgraded and I'd have a month to do so. Her breasts are actually kind of pressed together, which is a nice detail, given the cramped space she's in. So, I wonder what these are. Are they like batteries, maybe? Is this like a charging station? Although then comes a question like, why? Alright then, last one to grab. Very slick movement there. You can see I'm about ready to speedrun it. Actually, I had a little bit of trouble fitting into that one, which is amusing. Alright, so you probably remember the very first update that Megna posted. So you might be familiar with what's about to happen. Also at the end of the Doug Bradley trailer. But my question is this. So it kind of looks like this is the end for our Scorn guy here, right? He's covered in cum. He's not getting out of this alive. So in subsequent versions of him, if the parasite guy decides to try to find a different body to possess, where does he get the wrist key and piston weapon? But yeah, that's the prologue. It's a fun thing to play. Glad to finally play a close to a final build of the game. Hopefully other puzzles don't filter me quite as hard as that one did. That was not my proudest gamer moment, but I am definitely looking forward to the full release. I'm glad the game doesn't seem to suck. My only real criticism right now is you walk a little bit too slow for my liking, especially with such big areas, and it is genuinely difficult to tell, like, how far away you need to be before you can use a piston gun. You know, if you're ever low on ammo and need to use your melee weapon, which you can only use like twice at a time before it needs to recharge, that is definitely going to be a bit of an issue. It's probably going to lead to you getting hurt and then just kind of frustrated because you swear you were right next to him. You should have been able to hit the spooky monster. So I guess that might need to be adjusted a little bit. But other than that, everything is pretty good. We can even see on the settings, you know, full screen, VSync, sharpness all the way up, high, textures on everything. Like, my PC is ready. It's a bunch of languages. And Scorn might be one of the easiest games to make languages for because there's no text or dialogue. So you don't have to worry about subtitles. And controls. One thing I really like is that you are able to use the lateral mouse buttons in the control. Actually, I haven't seen that. Toggle inventory. There's healing, switch. Have like 4 different weapons. I mean, like piston, pistol, shotgun, grenade launcher. And switch. Yeah, I kind of want to see, actually. Fun fact, you can just continue from where you left off, and depending on the area, there will be one of these splash screens. No, I doesn't do anything. I guess I might as well show you what it looks like when you take damage. So these guys hurt you, and the health bar goes down. Let's see what happens when you die. I just flop over. And then you close your eyes. And you're sent all the way back here. That's, oh, no you're not. You're sent to start here. Guess they don't have a splash screen for this. There's no, save station in the prologue. We still don't know how that works. All the trailers, all the gameplay stuff, we still haven't seen the save station in action. Is everything reset? Yeah, I don't have my piston gun anymore. So yeah. Alright, I've been goofing off way too much. I'm gonna... Oh, I have the thing here. Gonna head back to the menu. So that was the Scorn demo. I hope you enjoyed the video, that I gave you something to think about and otherwise entertained you. Looking forward to the full release. Take care.